What's up, everybody? It's Sid and Millie back with another episode. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll be chatting about something that we think is really important just from a human standpoint. And yeah, something that we think that everyone should be doing, and that is appreciating nature.
Yeah. Yo, what's happening with that? I was like,
What are we doing? No, yeah.
yeah, just appreciating nature, the world around us. There's so much beauty in the world around us. And I feel like part of why humans are so okay and maybe desensitized to the degradation of our environment and the world around us is because of the fact that we aren't appreciating it. We aren't appreciating the fact that our planet and our earth acts as an ecosystem that supports our life, and that it took humans millions upon millions of years to develop and become humans, and then more hundreds and thousands of years to develop into, a bipedal intelligent species. And, that wouldn't have been possible without our planet sustaining our life. So yeah, nature is massively important.
Yes, 100%. And I think you make such a good point, and I really love the way you put it of like, humans being desensitized.
Yeah.
Goodness, excuse me. Humans being desensitized from like things happening to the environment around us, things happening in nature.
Yeah.
We're not really like, we're not feeling, I don't know, like every time an endangered species is extinct.
Yeah.
Like it's
And
not
so
something that
many have gone extinct under like humanity's like control of our planet.
100%. It's like not something that humanity mourns, right?
Nah.
It's not something that everybody across the globe is like, wow, we've done it. Like we've wiped out an entire species of animal.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's sad. And like to your point,
It's
we're just
devastating.
so desensitized because we're so disconnected from nature.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, it's crazy to say and to acknowledge, but the reality is that humans don't even care about other human lives, our own lives, our own species, so let alone extending that empathy beyond our species. It seems almost like an impossible task right now. Obviously, people care about their pets, their dog or their cat or their gerbil or whatever it may be. But what they don't actually care about is, well, the animals we're eating or the animals we're killing in the rainforests and in the other forests and the natural land that exists. Yeah, the natural habitat. So it's like, when we are killing those other animals, you're showing a massive amount of indifference. And that same level of indifference could have been shown to the animal you consider your pet, in a different world, right? In a different universe where humans decided to eat a different animal versus the animals we eat, So if you think about it that way, the empathy that you are showing towards your dog or your cat should also be extended to the rest of the animal kingdom.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I think you had mentioned in there as well, just like humans not having empathy towards other humans as well. I think that's a huge thing that we're seeing right now because everyone is so individualistic and so desensitized to like things happening to other people that it only matters when it happens to you, right? Like I think that there's such a large just disconnect between humanity and each other, humanity and the environment around us. And like it's sad. It's kind of
really
putting
sad.
Our society into a very like dark place, I think.
Right. Well, I think that that's why we're seeing so many humans struggle with, mental health issues, anxiety, depression, all of these things. Not saying they didn't exist in the past, but the more and more we disconnect from our roots as a species, the more and more we're going to be dealing with new sicknesses that are coming up because of the fact that we are disconnected from our natural way of life. Obviously, I'm not saying that we need to go back to hunter-gatherer type of situation, but what I am saying is that what we can do is connect more to the nature around us, appreciate the nature around us, protect our planet, which will then in turn protect our species. But yeah, I think it really is going to start with humans acknowledging each other first, right? Like we have to change our mindset, and I think a lot of religious texts actually kind of provokes this misconception in humans' mind, thinking that like humans are the dominant species on our planet. That is not true. This is not our planet like the Bible says. This is not humans are not the superior species of the animal kingdom at all. We're not even apex predators. The only reason we're able to claim that title is because we're smart enough to make weapons. But
Yep.
as far as like raw in the animal kingdom, we are not apex predators. So if you really think about like that element, it's like we're we're destroying the natural order of our planet.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, and to your point, like humans are just smart enough to be able to use tools, create things,
Yeah.
and make buildings that protect us from the environment around us. So we're not out in the rain, out in the weather, out in
Yeah.
the areas where, we could be not we could potentially not be like the apex predator, because
Exactly.
if we didn't have the ability to use tools, we'd have to, survival of the fittest,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. And if you don't believe what we're saying, please go watch an episode of Naked and Afraid where they go to South Africa and then report back here. Because
Yeah.
once you see what humans are like in an environment when they don't have weapons and there are much larger predators out there, it's terrifying. So
Yeah.
again, we are not the apex. We know that.
Yeah, because again, like if you don't have a gun, like you're not defending yourself against a
A
lion
lion, yeah, a
or a
cheetah,
cheetah or anything,
hippo. Come on,
hippos,
guys. We know that.
elephants, even
You're
like
not. You're
you're
not.
not.
You're not.
You're the little ant
Yeah.
out there in the
100%.
wilderness. And like to Millie's point, go watch Naked and Afraid. It's not only
Yeah.
super entertaining, but you learn a lot about what primitive human survival looks like.
Yeah.
And that's also really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And I think like, again, like that sort of primitive example, it kind of highlights the relationship between like humans and food and humans in nature, right? Like
Yes.
when they're on Naked and Afraid, they're showing a lot more appreciation to the animals they're eating. They're trying to make sure they're building a like shelter that blends in with the environment to make them harder to find for predators, right? So if you think about that natural part of our survival and then look at where we are now as a society, we're completely disconnected from that quest of maintaining our well-being. And again, not calling for us to go back to ancient times, but it's just about acknowledging the fact that we are just a small cog in the machine of planet Earth. Planet Earth is a living entity that provides us the ability to live.
Yeah, which it's so crazy to be thinking about like humanity being a small cog in the in like Earth's machine, right? Like it's so crazy to think about that when we are the most destructive species on the entire planet.
Yeah, by far, by far. I mean, no other species obviously is as destructive as us. No species, goes out of its way to obliterate the surrounding environment around it. Because again, that is suicide, right?
Yeah.
Every species is aware that if they hunt their prey to extinction, if they cut down their own means of protection in terms of shelter, the trees and those, they know that they will not survive, which is why predators don't do that. You'll see it in wolf packs all the time, in lions, all sorts of predaceous animals. They migrate. They change where they're hunting to make sure they don't kill out everything living in their areas. So again, humans
used to do that.
Right, and humans used to be very nomadic and going around and making sure to do the same thing. But yeah, in today's time, we're not thinking like that. We're hunting to extinction. We're killing animals to extinction. We've been doing it for hundreds of years, and we're watching animals die, different species of animals die every year due to climate change, and humans are still not changing their actions, which is just baffling to me.
Yeah, absolutely baffling. And like humans are not supposed to be as stagnant as we've become. Like humans, you're not supposed to like live in the same place for decades and decades or for your entire life or anything like that. Like
or be inside all the time.
Humans are meant to be outside. Humans are meant to be exploring and checking out other places and experiencing different cultures and talking to different people.
That's
and
the
like
whole point.
that's the whole point of life. Like if you're just living in a bubble, you're really not like, you're not expanding your mind. You're not able to make connections with other humans in ways that actually like deepen your understanding and knowledge of the world.
Yeah, and to the point that you're making, I feel like the separation and individualness of our species is intentional. It's being done
Yes.
intentionally by the group of people that are at the very top, because they know if they can keep us separated, if they can keep us out of nature, if they can keep us distracted, they can continue destroying our habitat
Yep.
without anybody stopping them. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're doing their best to make sure people can't form those connections, can't learn about other cultures, can't connect with nature. Think about it in the United States, how hard it is to even get to like a park or anything.
Yeah.
We have very limited public or third spaces where you can go without spending money, where people can just go and congregate and hang out and be around each other and experience each other. And so in that same way, we're not only losing our connection to other human beings, but we're also losing our connection to nature and the world around us. We're losing that
Yes.
connection from the earth's vibration, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
how often are people going and putting their feet in the dirt and like getting the natural vibration from earth? Like, it's massively important.
Yes, it really is. And like even myself, us, like we don't even really go out and put our feet on the ground. You know, we'll
No.
garden, we'll work with plants and we'll
Yeah.
do those things.
Yeah.
But it is like the vibration from the earth and the energy that you
Hmm.
receive from touching the earth and grounding, as they say. It's like it's very important. It not
Yeah.
only, I mean, it helps your health even.
Yep. Yeah. It
So
essentially keeps you human. I
yeah,
mean, that's the
genuinely.
reality of it, which is why kind of like our thesis of this argument is that humans should be worshiping like the nature around us, the world around us. I mean, you can say what you want about the Greeks and the Romans and their crazy beliefs with their gods and whatever, in the like multi-theistic belief systems, but
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, they were taking and believing in signs from nature. And I
Yes,
feel like humans nowadays could definitely take some solace in that. We could take some lessons from the way that they were believing back in the past.
definitely.
We should be appreciating every time it rains, every time we're getting more access to water and our plants are getting water. Like, we should be appreciating that. Our earth is keeping us alive, it's sustaining
Yes.
us. The sun is literally our source of life.
I
I mean,
know.
that's something to worship. It's tangibly
Yes.
right there providing life to our planet. Why would we not be worshiping it?
I know. And it's like, you think about humans used to take signs from nature, right? Like humans
Yeah.
used to, like when it rained, it's like that's prosperity,
Yep.
right? Like that's
Yep.
abundance and that's
Yeah.
growth, right? It's
Yeah.
feeding the earth, it's feeding the ground and allowing plants to grow and develop
Which is
and
in turn feeding humans.
exactly. And
So
it's
it's
like
like,
rain right now, it's just like, oh, it's raining.
yep.
Nice. But it's
Yeah.
not like a huge event when it should be a huge event.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's raining, we're getting rain, we're feeding the earth, we're feeding the plants. Like
Yeah.
it
It
should be
should
a
be
more
beautiful.
beautiful thing that people
100%. And
appreciate.
it's like, more so in today's times, it feels like humans are a lot of times trying to escape weather. And obviously, I know because of climate change, we're experiencing more extreme weather events. So
Yes.
obviously, I'm not saying to go outside during a tornado or something insane like
That
that.
would be crazy.
But what I am saying is, we can all like get outside at some point and look up. Go look at the
Hmm.
clouds. I mean, the sky is a canvas in front of our faces every single day, putting out masterclass art pieces right in
Yes.
the sky, floating around you 360. So it's just like we need to go out and appreciate that. Go cloud gaze. Go stare at the sky. When it
Yes.
gets dark, go stargaze. Go look for shooting stars. That's something we love doing, staring up at the stars at night. Like,
Yeah.
we love watching the clouds, but as a species, we need to do more of those things and appreciate like the little things that are around us and the little pieces of beauty around us.
Yes, absolutely. And like I know it can be tough depending on where you are located.
Yeah.
That can definitely be tough, but trying to just like find little parks or green spaces that are
Yeah.
around you, or if you have a house and you have a yard, just like spending some time outside, putting your feet on the ground, or even just like going and basking in the sunlight for a couple minutes in the morning when the
Yeah.
sun isn't too intense. Bask in the sunlight, soak up the like vitamin D
Vitamins.
and
Yeah.
the
Just
just
the
like energy
energy.
from the
Yeah.
sun. Like even something as simple as that will just elevate you at the start of your day.
Yeah, 100%. Because again, we are like energetic beings. We have energy, we vibrate. Like those are just facts around us. You have an aura, like all of those things are very true. And the same can be said about everything around us in the surrounding world, every living thing that's around us. And so again, it's like finding the way for humans to feel empathy for not only each other, but for animals, for the nature, for our surroundings, because at that point, our entire planet, our society, our species will elevate higher, right? We'll have a new appreciation for the world around us, and a new protection for the world around us. And that's going to make us vibrate higher.
Yes, absolutely. Because, like, if we truly do demand those things, I mean, we talk about voting, you know, like, vote for the people who want to put the environment first. Vote for the people who aren't trying to build data centers and destroy habitats and destroy national park lands and public lands. Like, that's a very clear difference, right? Like, vote for the people who are actually going to put the environment as a priority and not allow data centers to be built, not allow places to be deforested or used for drilling and gas. Like, vote for those people. Like, that's something that we can do to try and take action against the destruction of our environment.
100%. So it's just like, you know, before you cast your vote, you should be asking yourself, does this candidate have environmental policies written into their agenda for once they get into office? If they don't have that, that should immediately be someone that you write off of your bill. Again, we've seen it right now. This administration has fired people who are worked in preventing wildfires, right? That has now led to, we've had hundreds of wildfires in the United States, right? A direct cause and effect. And it might not seem like your vote has that much of an impact, but it really does. And that really is the difference. They've defunded a ton of clean energy projects. Again, things that will continue to conserve our environment. They're defunding those things right now. So again, we're seeing our nature and our environment and our natural parks and our natural wonders being put on the back burner and destroyed in the quest for profit. And that's massively hurtful, not only to this, like us as Americans, but also just like the planet itself. And that's
absolutely
crazy.
I mean, genuinely. And like, I mean, we could get into the oceans too. I mean, there's so much destruction of our oceans and the species that are living in our oceans. And like, we've only explored what, 10% of the ocean. And I mean, I don't know this off the top of my head, but I can only imagine how much destruction that we've caused in that 10% of the ocean that we have like genuinely explored.
I mean, you make such a great point. I mean, not only is there a great garbage patch in the Pacific Ocean, but you know, that garbage patch is the size of like Texas. So if you can imagine the state of Texas in the middle of the ocean, but it's all trash. That exists. That is because of humans. And it obviously life can exist in or around that massive garbage patch.
No, it literally
so we are literally suffocating our ocean. And you know, along with that, our ocean has not only been warming, but also acidifying, right? It's not absorbing as much of the CO2 from the atmosphere as it used to, because it simply cannot continue to do so. And our ocean has actually been a great reset for our planet because it absorbs so much CO2, but it hasn't been doing that as much because it's so warm and so acidic, which is why, again, we're seeing stronger and stronger storms building in the oceans. But yeah, it's also impacting sea life. You know, we're seeing tons of fish and other species dying, going extinct, and that's why the rise in fish farming has come to
fruition. Yeah, absolutely. And something I wanted to comment on with you talking about the acidification of the ocean water is the coral reefs, because that has been a huge thing. I mean, coral reefs are, again, like, their abundance. They have so much life, so many species. That's a huge habitat. And so many of the coral reefs in our ocean have been bleached, have been literally just murdered, basically, by the acidification and the warming of the ocean. And it's something that is directly influenced and caused by human impacts.
100%. And I mean, like, again, one coral reef, right? A single coral reef, depending on the size of it, that's like thousands of lives, hundreds of thousands of lives, if not more. that humans are responsible for taking, for killing, for, making it impossible for them to survive. And that's happening all over our planet, which again, the impact of all of these harmful things that humans are doing, it is going to come back to harm humans. I mean, it's one of the laws of motion, I think, from Isaac Newton, which is like, if you impact something, it will impact you back, right? Like there is
every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
exactly,
yeah.
right. So it's just like, we know that, like, in a closed system, which again, Earth is a closed system, we are harming our closed system in thinking that we're going to somehow be impervious to the effects of that harm.
It's crazy.
It's idiotic.
It really is. And I mean, were you gonna say?
No,
okay, no, I was just gonna say, going back to your point on the fish farms.
Yeah.
Because what's the movie, that the documentary Seaspiracy?
Yeah,
Is that what it's called?
Yep.
That movie documentary talks a lot about the overfishing that humans have done and the different industrialized fishing practices that humans do, which causes a lot of not only just like mass collection, I guess, of different species of fish, which further, I guess, leads to the degradation of those species, right? It's I can't think of words. But it's essentially, yeah, like all of that overfishing is causing species to be kind of like taken out faster than they can reproduce, is essentially what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And so like with that, we're seeing the rise of fish farms, and like what are fish farms for people?
Well, I mean, the reality of fish farms is that there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of fish trapped in a giant net under the ocean, in which they are breeding them in captivity in order for us to eat. And because of the close quarters and how many fish are in such an enclosed area, they're diseased, they're sick, they're miscolored. Sea lice spreads like wildfire, and then humans, we're turning around and eating that product. So it's like we're putting these distressed and diseased food products in our body, and that's also gonna cause harm. It's gonna be dangerous. Like, that is gonna be carcinogenic. I mean, you're not supposed to eat diseased animals, but more and more industry is finding a way to find loopholes to continue to put that sort of product on our plate. And yeah, fish farming is not a new industry. It's been around for literally half a century, and it's only expanded and will continue to expand as we continue to destroy our ocean's ecosystem, which is going to have massive impacts on humanity. Again, because our ocean, that controls the jet stream, that controls, ocean currents, which move water around our planet. All of those things are weakening, which again, that's going to direct humans. Good luck flying once we don't have the jet stream. Good luck, using the ocean for ships and container ships once our ocean currents are no longer functional, right? Like, we're provoking changes that we don't understand and that we've never studied, which means the reaction to those changes is going to naturally cost human lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And back to what you were saying on the fish farms, because I just had a couple of things I wanted to say on that as well. No, you're fine. Well, just something about the fish farms, because of how all of these fish are just basically trapped in little nets. I say little, I guess they're probably big, but not for the amount of fish that are in there, right? They are, like Millie said, very diseased, sick, just like kind of going crazy in there, right? Because they're just swimming in circles in large groups without being able to explore the ocean or have the space of the ocean. And one thing about farmed fish, they don't have the nutrients that like wild fish would have. And fish farms, the fish that they get out of there, it's not bright pink and beautiful like the fish that you see in the grocery store. They literally will add dyes to the fish once they're killed so that they can sell it in grocery stores in a more attractive way, because nobody's going to go and buy gray fish.
It's facts. It's scary, it's crazy. And again, like, the ocean is where all life on our planet started. It is literally the source of our life, and we are literally destroying by far the most important ecosystem on our planet, with the things we're doing to the ocean. So yeah, it's massively, massively scary.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were just saying, like, about the jet stream, right? About how that is going to cause, losing the jet stream, it's just going to cause a lot more I guess, tumultuous weather,
Flights.
tumultuous, like ocean currents. We're not
Yep.
going to really know what's going on with the ocean currents. It could change at any time without us kind of knowing, right? Is
Yeah.
that kind of the issue with
Well,
the jet stream?
well, with the jet stream, it's basically like what we're seeing right now with all of these heat domes, that's caused by the jet stream. So the jet stream
Ah,
typically surrounds the Arctic. It's like a current of very quick air that surrounds the Arctic and would typically keep that Arctic cold air trapped up
okay.
in the Arctic Circle.
Got it.
But because of our weakening ocean currents, and now the jet stream weakening as a result of those weakening ocean currents, the jet stream is no longer like a solid stream. It's no longer like that. Now it is like this. So now what's happening is we're getting these crazy heat events, and in the winter we're getting these crazy cold events, which are being caused by the disruption in the airstream because it's no longer stable, and being holding in that Arctic air. So when that air escapes, that's when we're getting all these random crazy weather patterns. So yeah, it will inevitably impact humans heavily, as we've seen this heat dome has claimed lives and has kept us. I mean, it recorded the hottest July on record,
Yeah.
and that is caused by a disruption to our jet stream, which is caused by the degradation of our ocean ecosystems.
Yes. Yeah. And I just remember even like our own personal experience with weather, right? Like earlier, I mean, our summer has just been 90 degrees plus the entire
Yeah,
time. So we
yeah,
haven't really seen a lot of like
been
huge
hot as balls.
fluctuations,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But it was either super early this year or late last year. We were just like every single week, we could literally see the temperatures going like this. Like it was all kind of like ebbs and flows of like super, super cold. Okay, it's getting a little warmer. Okay, it's super, super cold. Okay, a little,
yeah,
like it
yeah.
was constantly on that pattern. And like you said, that's being caused by the jet stream.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. So again, it's like when people think about, climate change, again, the name had to be changed from global warming to climate change because people weren't understanding that global warming, aka climate change, was speaking and referencing a change in all global weather patterns. Not just making things hotter. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's not just going to be hot forever. I just, it's so sad that like so many things have had to be over explained and dumbed down for people to like really try and grasp, when it's like, yo, our literal planet is fighting to destroy the disease that's killing it. And we're the disease. It's
It's
like,
us.
yeah,
It's
it's
us.
humans. I mean, think
Yeah.
about it. Think about how our body responds when we get sick. Our body gets hot in order to try and fight off the virus and kill the virus, right? That's what our body does. And then it sends stuff from internal to fight against the virus. That is quite literally what Earth is doing right now. It is
Ah,
heating to
wow.
fight against the virus that's killing it. And then the other forms of extreme weather are going to be like the white blood cells fighting and hurting the infection that's killing our planet. So
Wow.
just a little comparison
Oh
for you.
my gosh. Yeah. Wow. I've never thought about it like that, but
Mm,
literally, like you said, that makes so much
yeah,
sense.
I
Like
mean,
the earth it has been gradually, on average, warming
at an
over
accelerated
time.
rate. Like
Yes.
let's
At
just
an
go ahead and
accelerated
play
rate.
that out for the people who are gonna respond and say, "Oh, well, it always goes in ebbs and flows. That's how Earth functions."
No.
Human beings have never in our entire existence experienced temperatures like we are experiencing now. So please comment with that BS argument.
Yeah, because typically when the entire globe warms over time, happens over a very, 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 very long
Like
time,
hundreds of millions
so
of
that
years long.
the species on the planet have time to adapt to the changes in the weather
That's
and the
called
temperatures.
evolution.
Exactly. But like right now, we're
Right.
seeing such drastic changes in the habitats that are around the planet. I
Yeah.
mean, we can, as a very, very obvious example, polar bears.
Yeah.
They, I mean, there's such a high amount of meltage in the Arctic, and they are having to actually learn how to hunt from the water now instead of
Yeah.
having to hunt from the ice because
Ice.
there's
Yeah.
not enough ice for them to be able to actually traverse and find prey. So they're having to rely more on hunting in the water,
Yeah.
but they're not developed and evolved to be water
I
hunters.
know we were joking about that when we were watching a documentary recently, and I was like, polar bears are about to evolve and have webbed feet so they can swim better.
Genuinely,
That
like
would be terrifying.
the sea bear in SpongeBob.
Yeah, for real. It
If you
might be
watch
like that. Yeah.
SpongeBob, but
Um,
no,
but
genuinely.
yeah, and also, I mean, polar bears are coming further south also, and they're creating Pisleys, which is a polar bear grizzly combination, which is, yeah,
Horrifying.
it's a horrifying
That's
account.
scary because, like, I mean, polar bears, they're aggressive. I mean, they're not the type where you're like, oh, just don't threaten them or, make yourself big. No, polar bears are
If you
humongous.
see
Like,
one, it's probably too late.
yeah, if you see a polar bear, good. Yeah, I mean,
It was
it
nice.
was nice knowing you, like, genuinely.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, they're not gonna wait. I mean,
No.
especially now, they're desperate.
Yeah,
like, if you
yeah.
see a polar bear, you're done. But
Yeah.
if you see a polar bear grizzly hybrid, what?
It's gonna be like that cocaine bear.
No, oh my god, actually. And polar bears are humongous. Like,
Yeah,
they're the size
they're
of a
so
small
big.
car.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
huge.
they're huge.
So,
But anyway, yeah. So essentially, again, our
not
whole
to get too
entire
bogged
premise
down on
is
the
the
polar
fact
bears.
that humans really should be like worshiping the world around us. We should be really appreciating our natural world. We should be upset when a new species goes extinct. We should be upset when we're destroying these environments, because in reality, we're only hurting ourselves. Every action we're taking against nature on Earth, we're actually just taking against our own species. And so, yeah, even if it isn't directly, immediately impacting us, it will. We're seeing, again, people are dying all over the world due to extreme weather events led by climate change. And that has come from the degradation of our natural world around us. And it's humans' fault.
Yeah.
It's our own fault.
100%. And this is super random,
That's
but
okay.
watch The Lorax.
The Lorax,
Just like such a random, like, I know it's a kid's movie or whatever, but like the message behind the movie is great.
Yeah,
it's great.
That's a fact.
And also it shows the effects of like no trees, shows the effect of wiping out entire environments, entire landscapes, and like,
yeah,
I don't know. I think that's, I think that movie just like,
it's honestly so true. Again, they put pieces of real information in art in order to try and send that message to humanity. They did it with WALL-E as well, right? Showing what our planet will look like if we continue on this unchecked path of destruction, right? It becomes uninhabitable to the point where all of the surviving humans had to leave the planet. So again, yeah, it might be a children's movie, but they are shouting out very real things. And I mean, honestly, we're way past due for an adult movie to come out and address these sorts of things. It shouldn't just be documentaries. There should also be real pieces of media that are addressing the reality that we're going to be facing in the near future, if we don't start appreciating the world around us and our environment. And we made a video forever ago, but essentially it's just referencing what I think the 4 pillars of human belief should be. I think we should be worshiping our sun because it gives us life. It was literally what gives life to our planet. All plants on our planet would not survive without the sun, aka neither would we. So our sun should be the first pillar of human belief. The second pillar should be the moon. Obviously, again, something we can see, it's tangible. Also, the moon plays an immense role in the cycles of the ocean, and moving our water around our planet, which again, we would not survive without water. So we need the moon. It's immensely important. That's something that we could worship, should be worshiping. The next piece is our planet Earth, Earth itself, Mother Earth. We literally cannot survive without our Earth. If Earth becomes uninhabitable for humans, that is the end of our species. So we should be treating Mother Earth like it is our throne room. We should be sweeping it, cleaning it, dusting it, loving it, and making sure we protect it, because without it, we're done as a species. So third pillar would be the planet Earth itself. And then the fourth pillar of human belief systems should be each other, right? Believing in humanity, caring every single time a single person loses their life, making sure that it is your business when things are happening with the human species around us, right? We need to be connected and feel empathy for every single person, not just the people who look like you, but the stranger across the planet that you also don't know and don't recognize. We have to make empathy the ground floor thing that every single human has an immense grasp on, an intimate grasp on empathy, so that we can stop killing each other and connect in order to save what's left of our natural environment. So those are my 4 pillars of what human belief should be. And if we worshiped the sun, the moon, our nature, and each other thoroughly, I guarantee we'd solve all of the world's problems.
Yes, I fully agree. Because why wouldn't we and why shouldn't we worship the tangible things? Like you said, the Greeks, like Greek mythology.
Yeah.
That makes sense though,
Yeah.
right? Those gods, I mean, Zeus, Poseidon, I can't think. Those are
like
the two.
Hades.
Hades,
Yeah. Athena, yeah,
yeah,
Aphrodite.
I was like, those are the two.
Yeah.
I know the ocean and the
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, their entire plot behind that was like, yeah, we can witness and observe these things happening in nature.
Yeah.
There are forces behind what we're witnessing that we do not understand. Let's attribute that to something. That was the basis of Greek and Roman mythology, and that made sense. Nowadays, a lot of humans are basing their belief on nothing. No tangibility. There's nothing you can see. There's nothing you can hold. There's nothing tangible about most belief systems in our society nowadays, when all of the glaringly obvious, tangible, worshipable objects are right in front of our eyes. The sun it blinds your eyes when you look at it for too long, right? It's literally forcing you
Only
not to
God
look
could
at
do
it.
that.
Right. That's how most people think of a God, right? It'd be disrespectful to look upon God, right? Well, you can't look upon the sun. So why wouldn't the sun be redeemed as our God? It provides all life to our planet. That is my question. Any Christian out there, why would the sun be less of a God than your God? We can witness, we can feel the tangibility of the sun's warmth, and it is nourishing our plants, which we eat, and nourishing our plants, which the animals eat, which we then eat. The sun is the root of all life. So again, let's get back to those core human beliefs of believing in and worshiping things that are tangible, that we can see, that are actually providing us with the life that we have.
Yes. Wow. I fully agree. I genuinely think it makes the most sense. Like, why are we worshiping something that doesn't have any tangibility? I know if you believe, but no. Sorry. I think that we should be worshiping the things that are around us. I mean, the earth, the plants, everything that we see. I mean, the beauty is right there. I think we just really need to learn to appreciate those things as a society, as humanity, because those are the things that actually will move humanity forward, because empathy is the most important thing, right?
It is, because it's just like, empathy, it's not just for humans, right? You can have empathy that extends beyond that. Have empathy for animals, have empathy for plants, which are also living beings. Like, that is what we're talking about. Like, humans essentially evolving past our current state to a more empathetic species as a whole, because then we would appreciate the nature around us and not destroy our own home. Think about that. We came from nature. We are of nature. So if we destroy nature, we are destroying ourselves. So we've got to appreciate it. We've got to appreciate the world around us, the sky, the clouds, the trees, the grass, the flowers, the bees, everything. Everything is beautiful on this planet. We have to protect it. That's our responsibility as the most intelligent species on the planet. Well, maybe with killer whales, but as the most sentient, as the most sentient, intelligent species with the ability to impact the world around us, it really is humans' responsibility to protect our planet and care for its longevity. And we will only get there by appreciating every single thing around us and every person around us. And that's how we'll progress our species.
Yes, true. And killer whales might be trying to take back the ocean on their own.
Facts. Them or the octopus. The octopi, whatever they're called.
Genuinely.
Aliens. You can have it.
Facts.
They'll have what's left at this rate, because we ain't gonna, anyway. We're not making
Humans
it to the turn of the century if we don't change immediately. And again, it shouldn't take the extreme weather event to be on your doorstep or hurt your family member for you to care about these things, because humans are already being impacted. So we should already care. Because if one human has lost their life, that means any human could lose their life, including you. So
absolutely.
That's the reality.
And I think one thing with, like, our society now that is kind of sad is just like the fact that it takes things getting to like a very close breaking point, or things actually getting to that breaking point for change to be made. And I think that's
true.
really sad. I think that is something that hinders humanity
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, because we see the same thing in like our modern society. You know, it's not
Yeah.
even just about like nature even, but
Yeah.
with humans, right? Like, even, I mean, labor laws.
Yeah.
Even just think about like child labor, right? Like, we only regulated that when it was getting really bad, when like children were dying and getting hurt at work, getting locked in buildings and burning down. It, like, you know,
Yeah.
there's just so much issue with the way that humans go about regulating things and changing in order to
Yeah.
make impacts in better ways. And
Yeah, it's
we're
because
seeing it,
everything is profit motivated.
of
Everything is
course.
profit motivated. If it wasn't, if the goal wasn't profit, if the goal was true conservation and the survival and longevity of our species, the thinking would be completely different.
100%. Yeah,
But yeah.
100%. It's just really sad. It's sad
Yeah,
to
I
me.
agree with you. It is super sad. And again, like it just comes from humans being disconnected from the core of who we really are, which is animals. We belong to the animal kingdom. We came from the dirt of our earth, you know, through years and years and years of evolution. So it's like we've now disconnected ourselves from that ideal, and have this misguided, I don't even know what to call it, misguided arrogance that we own this world and that we are the dominant of this world.
Ego.
Yeah, it's a lot of ego, like as a species in a whole. And it's dangerous for ourselves.
Yeah, it's
It's
like a
massively
huge
dangerous.
superiority complex as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And again, like it starts at an individual level. If an individual is able to start thinking more empathetic thoughts and feel more empathetic for other people, that will reverberate in the people around them and will continue to spread. And, you know, again, it goes to the people you're electing as well. Make sure you're electing people that have clear signs of empathy. If people don't have that, they're most likely don't give a shit about you and aren't going to be a good representative for you and your family. So, again, empathy really is the key for everything. If you can feel empathetic for other people, you'll also feel that empathy for the world around us.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So true.
Yeah.
Snaps for
Cool.
that. That's
Thanks.
beautiful.
Well, any closing thoughts from you?
I don't think so. I
No?
feel like we kind of covered a
A lot
lot,
that we wanted to.
genuinely.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right, cool. Well, yeah. So those were our thoughts on humans appreciating nature and the world around us.
Yes, so if you made it this far,
Thanks for watching.
and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Peace.